Neil Diamond, Crackling and Rosie on 101 FM. You may know this, you may not, but I do a little bit of work for Alzheimer's Australia, and normally I MC their memory walk, which is great fun, I have to say. And we had one on the Gold Coast probably about 5-6 weeks ago, maybe a little bit longer than that. And one of the guests was on the stage sharing it with me that morning. His name is Kelly, affectionately known as Kell, and I was very, very moved by his story and also impressed with his determination. And as luck would have it, he's with us in the studio this morning. So welcome to 101 FM.
Thanks, Mike.
I have to say, that morning, a beautiful morning down there in the Gold Coast, it was gorgeous. And I'd seen you and I had no idea what you were going to talk about. And you came on the stage and blew us all away. Just very briefly, tell us the background of first of all, why are you involved? Why are you raising the money for Alzheimer's and dementia?
Look, I got diagnosed with young onset dementia, in particular frontal temporal lobe dementia, FTD. And when they spoke to me and they said, oh, look, go and get your affairs in order, this is a terminal disease, I sort of looked at them a little bit and they said, yeah, look, on average worldwide with young onset, it's about 6 or 8 year lifespan. And wow. I continued to shake my head and I didn't understand that. So I asked a few questions, and basically the summary is that about 5 years' time that you'll struggle to know your friends and family, and about 18 months or 2 years after that, your brain is forgetting everything, which means it forgets how to work your organs, and they said you'll die of organ failure. And I just I was stunned, and I did a little bit of research, and I found out it's the second highest killer here in Australia. I didn't know that, and a lot of your listeners today won't know that.
No, of course. I mean, it's a shock statistic. It really is.
It is. It kills more people than breast cancer kills women. The fact of the matter is that it's predicted to be the number one killer, Mike, in the next 5 to 10 years. Now, let's not get hung up on years. That's 60 to 120 months. And I'm not going to let this, I got breath in my body. There's no way we can let this be number one killer. And I'm riding the Harley the length and breadth of Australia, USA and New Zealand to fire up every biker, everyone who's ever rode a scooter, a mini bike, I don't care what you've ridden, fire up and let's turn the lights on this. And when I get down to Canberra and catch up with the PM, etc., mate, we need to talk about it. I've got a solution. I actually have a solution to get the funds into research without asking mum and dad. And I want to talk about that solution because it's a fair thing.
And you know, we talk about the research, and this is, you know, my mum has dementia, but she was a much older lady. And, you know, we saw the signs many, many years before the doctors did.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for us, the medics wouldn't listen. What were the signs for you? I mean, did somebody say, do you know what, Greg, you're not yourself, or did you notice it?
Unfortunately, and it doesn't matter what country we pick around the world, unfortunately, the signs of depression, etc., mimic young onset dementia, you know, so suddenly everyone starts pushing it under the depression mat.
Sure.
And, you know, I'm having a good day and my speech is all working pretty well today, but the cogs, they do slow down, they crunch, you struggle to find the words sometimes.
And I'm guessing if you go to your GP, and this is no disrespect to any GP, they're going to look at you, you're a young fella, by comparison, they're going to say, oh, mate, you're depressed. We're going to give you antidepressants, take these for 3 months, come back and see us, you'll be fine.
Exactly right.
And of course, that's the last thing that you need at this stage.
Yeah, look, some of these antidepressants are like battery acid to dementia. So you got to be real careful. Like I got put on an Alzheimer's medication, and because initially they thought it was young onset Alzheimer's,
okay,
and then they did more research and more scans, and a gentleman came out from the UK and he went, no, you've actually got frontal temporal dementia, which is your frontal lobes. And by the way, the medication you've been given to help you under Alzheimer's is like battery acid to the frontal temporal dementia. So you've got to come off that really quick.
I mean, if there's any, to use the word luck is probably not ideal in this situation, but if you had any luck at all, it was that somebody recognised, hang on a minute, this guy is not on the right medication, and it's counterproductive.
Yeah, and you hear this. This is worldwide. You hear this worldwide. The thing is with it that it's the correct diagnosis. It's getting the right diagnosis early on, and not spending 3 or 4 years under the depression mat. And we've got to get money into the research, and hopefully you and I can have a 2-minute chat about what my thoughts are on that.
Absolutely. And, when it comes to research, as I say, Alzheimer's Australia is very important to me and to so many people. But you have this thing in the back of your mind. It applies to people who are in their late 70s, early 80s and beyond.
Yeah.
And we had, and the lady I'm talking about, I had a lovely lady on here last year. She was very involved with Alzheimer's Australia. She lost her husband at a very young age.
Yes.
And it's raising awareness. It's making people realise you've hit the stats. You've probably woken a lot of our listeners up this morning. So what can we do?
Okay. Well, just for the stats for 30 seconds, we've got 29-year-olds. Around the world, there are 18 and 19-year-olds with it. And in the USA, in the last 7 months, they've diagnosed infant Alzheimer's, under 1 year of age, not expected to live past 3. Wow. This is not just for the 80-year-olds anymore. We need to get.
Do we know? Do we have any idea why this is happening?
No. Look, if they had that answer, we'd have medication sitting on the shelf today.
Because, people talk about you use mobile phone use is dangerous. If you got it near your head, that can cause some, radio waves in the air, all of this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And if you think back even 15 years ago, when we didn't have mobile phones the way we've got, we didn't rely on computers and tablets, you didn't hear so much about dementia and Alzheimer's as much as you do now. So maybe there's a link.
Look, maybe there is, but the thing is that I hit it with traditional medications. I hit it with alternative medications. I've adjusted my entire diet because everything you read about different bits and pieces.
Sure.
So I'm trying my best, mate. I
don't think anybody can try any harder than you, especially with this. And it's not just Australia you're doing your bike ride, is it?
No, length and breadth of Australia. Then I hit New Zealand later in the year around Chrissy. And then I hit the USA in April next year, and that'll take me about 16 weeks to do that. So,
and this is on a Harley?
I'm doing it on the Harley, yep. And a lot of people have said that they want to join me and they're going to follow me for bits and pieces, which is good. But I'm doing it on my own because I'm fighting the disease on my own. I'm representing everyone else out there that's fighting this disease on their own. You're watching yourself go mad inside your head. It's not a good feeling.
No, and I can't begin to imagine for anybody like yourself that's been diagnosed with this. It's just going back to what you were telling me, the conversation that you had with the medics and whatever. Fine that they were giving it to you straight, but it didn't sound like they were being that empathetic towards the situation.
Oh, no, don't get me wrong. They were very empathetic. It's just that I've always taken everything head on in my life. It's a way that my dad brought me up, and I call a spade a shovel. So when they started having a bit of a chat to me, I basically put my hand on his shoulder and I said, listen, mate, stop the waffle. I need to know exactly what my enemy is. If I'm going to fight this, I need to know the whites of its eyes.
But, a lot of it, and I have to say, we had a lady in the studio, and I've known her for a little while now, a lovely lady, a very different situation to you. Her name is Annie Diamond. And Annie was given a cancer diagnosis many years ago, and basically she was told, go home and get your affairs in order. Yeah. So she said, no, I'm not having that. And she set a website up called Cancer Picked the Wrong Diva, and bless her, she's still with us now, and she's going, no, I'm not having it.
That's awesome.
That seems to be your attitude. Yeah. You are just getting on with it, and you're not going to let this beat you, which is amazing. If people want to get involved in the ride, if they want to find out a little bit more, if they'd like to maybe tag along with you for a bit, how do they contact you?
Okay, they can hop on to Facebook, Instagram. I have a GoFundMe because I'm trying to raise some funds to cover fuel and some accommodation I'm missing. And it's Kell's Ride, KELLSRIDE, and you'll find me on Facebook and GoFundMe and everywhere. And I've got a Gmail account, which is kellsride@gmail.com. And
Well, you are everywhere, because when you contacted me and when our mutual friend contacted me as well, I thought, that's the bloke I saw down at Southport. Yeah. But you're very omnipresent on the internet, which is great.
Yeah, look, we got to be. I've got a thought in relation to getting the funds into research, and I want to talk to the PM, and I want to get on to Sunrise and talk to Koshy, because my belief is that if we get the top 500 companies in Australia and we get them to put 0.5 cent out of $1, keep 99.5 cents in their profit, give 0.5 cent to medical research, the top 500 companies, that figure is absolutely mind-blowing. And then if we can get Koshy or someone independent can take that money and put it to the top 10 killers in Australia, of which dementia is one,
absolutely,
then we really have got big money going into research. And the companies, right, we don't have to name them, the top 500 companies then can put their hand on their heart and say, you know what, we care about Australia, we care about the customers that spend their money in our company creating our profit, and also we care about our staff and our families, because every company will have staff and families touched by dementia in some way. And if it's going to be the number one the next 5 to 10 years, a lot more people are going to be touched by it.
Absolutely. So if anybody from BHP, for example, is listening this morning, contact us here at 101 FM. And what we'll do, Kell, is we'll get you to chat to the lovely Lorraine, give her all the details, all the information you've just given me, and people can phone us up right here, 38081101, and we will put you and Kell in touch with each other. If you think you can help in any way, you want to find out more about the GoFundMe page, or you just want to get involved, we will put you guys together. I am so delighted that you came in and gave us your time this morning. We will be following you a ride with interest. We'll be mentioning it every step of the way as well.
Thank you.
And when we're off here, I've got somebody I'm going to put you in touch with.
Thank you, Mike.
And if absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for coming in with us this morning. Greg Kelly, and if what Greg's been talking about, if you've been affected by that, give us a call here, 38081101, and we'll put you guys in touch.
The Monday Morning Show with Mike Bennett on Logan City's 101 FM.